love to just pay attention and listen. I'm gonna say a lot in a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So again, just an introduction for those of you who don't know me. My name is Trayvon Bryant. I'm from right here in St. Augustine, Florida, born and raised here. Went here to Pedro Menendez. Some of you may see my pictures up inside in the building. And you know, one thing that I want to talk to you all about today is the decisions you make today determines the steps you have to take tomorrow. Amen. And what I want to talk to you all about is making sure that you do what you got to do every single day in order to make it count. So I'm gonna ask you this question right now. Now I came here early on purpose to see how you all work, right? I want you to ask yourself, were there any reps that you gave up today? Were there any moments today when you were out there on the track running that you didn't give your all, when you knew you could have pushed it a little bit more? Has there been any practice that you came out here today that you didn't give it your all? And the reason why I ask that, because it's not promised, guys. This game is not promised. The NFL, college, all that scholarships is not promised. It's not promised. And the reason why I say that is because I was very successful, as Coach just told you, right? I had 6 Division I scholarships coming out of here out of my senior year, right? First Pedro Menendez athlete to start all 4 years on varsity, right? My dream, number one dream, was to make it to the NFL, right? That was the way that I was going to change the financial situation for my family. I wanted to go to the NFL. Ended up getting a Division I scholarship, committed to the University of New Hampshire. Ended up playing my freshman year at the University of New Hampshire as well, starting a game because our starting running back got hurt, burnt my red shirt. I had 3 years left. Time was ticking already, right? Didn't play for the rest of the year once the running back came back. So it was 1 year of my life already burnt. And my dreams to go to the NFL was already ticking. I got into my senior year. I'm finally starting. I'm doing great. I'm doing good. College or NFL coaches are coming out. They're scouting that practice. They're asking questions. I'm like, yeah, it's finally time. I'm about to go to the NFL, or at least go to the CFL, or at least get the opportunity to showcase my talent in front of the next level coaches. Going into spring semester of my senior year, I remember it was the night before. I was telling my teammates, I said, guys, we only got 5 more practices left of this spring practice. We only got 5 left. We got to work hard. We got to stay healthy. And then we get to go home and see our family before we come back for summer training, right? That was literally at 10 p.m. Little did I know that about 6 hours later, my life was going to change. We get out on the field. We're in practice. I line up next to the quarterback. Down, ready, go. I get the ball. As I come through the hole, the safety fits down. Me and the safety, we hit head up at the line of scrimmage. Now we're fighting for yardage. I'm trying to push him back. He's trying to push me back. But the forces are pushing us to run lateral. And as we begin to run lateral, in my head, I'm like, I gotta get up. I gotta get upfield. I gotta gain yardage. So my thought process was to stick my left foot into the ground to throw him by to run forward. But as I began to stick my foot into the ground and throw the safety to the side, I ended up getting stuck, and the linebacker jumped over the offensive lineman, hit me by the hip, twisted, my entire knee snapped. Ah! Ah! My entire life changed in that moment. And yeah, you laughing because you're probably like, why is he yelling? But I want you to feel me and understand me. My entire life changed at that moment. I worked hard. I was the first 2-time team captain in the University of New Hampshire's history. I set records at the University of New Hampshire. Right now, still to this day, from 2016 until this day, I'm still considered the strongest athlete in the University of New Hampshire's history, pound for pound. But my life changed all in one play. NFL was gone. Every single thing that I worked for, all my motivation, everything that I was dedicated for was all gone. And those 2 yells that you just heard me scream, my entire life changed. All the work that I did out here on this field, all the work that I did on that field, all of that was gone. And it all went away with those 2 yells. So you laugh when I yell, you smile when I yell because it's unfamiliar to you, because you haven't put the work in yet to understand where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? The hard work, the sweat and the tears, the leadership, right? The not being selfish, working hard, encouraging my teammates when we're dead tired, right? Doing the extra reps. When we get days off, Coach has said you got a whole week off, right? What are you going to do during those days when nobody's watching? Amen. Right? It was that time. It was that time that I was grinding. It was that time that I was making the decision that I wanted to be the best player in the University of New Hampshire's history. It was that time. And all that time that I put in was all gone in those yells. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. And so my entire life changed, and I began to change my direction, and I said, you know what? I have nothing else to play for. I have nothing else to do. My entire dream was to make it to the NFL, but little did I know that I had so much more. Amen. I was so much more than a football player, right? Sure. And when you understand that you're so much more than a football player, that's when you begin to reach greatness. That's when you begin to grow as a player. When you believe in yourself and understand that you have so many more skills, so many more talents that you can build off of. But the great thing about the game of football is that you can learn so much about yourself from the game of football. Every single thing that you go through out here, you can transfer that into life skills, right? So I remember those times, I remember those games, and Coach Jay probably don't remember this, but I remember it was the kickoff classic going into my senior year. It was 3rd and 1. I get the ball, we run a trap play. As soon as I get the handoff, one of the defensive linemen slipped through and hit the ball right out of my hands. Fumble. 3rd and 1, turn the ball over. I go to the sideline, and the only thing Coach Jay yelled was 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard. He got in my face and said 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard. And from that day on, through every single day of my career here at Pedro Menendez, Coach Jay called me 1 yard. What's up, 1 yard? How you doing? He never let me forget, because 1 yard changed the whole outcome of that game. 1 yard can change the whole outcome of your life. One decision, the second that you give up, the second that you let up, can change the entire course of your life. And from that game on, I promise you, I never ever turned the ball over again.
Amen.
Did I, Coach Jay? Never did.
Amen.
And that 1 yard mentality brought me to where I was. Got me to the University of New Hampshire, got me to become a motivational speaker, got me to be the most motivated person in my family, the first person to get a master's degree in my family, to create generational wealth, not through just money, but through intellect.
Amen.
By getting into my books, by working hard, by encouraging my teammates, by holding myself accountable, holding each other accountable, right? And so what I want y'all to understand is that as you go through life, right, as you get ready to go on this break, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision if you're going to hold yourself accountable for your brothers out here.
Amen.
Are you going to hold yourself accountable for your brothers out here? Are you going to continue to eat right? Are you going to continue to work out? You already know the workout, right? But now that you're not with a team, are you going to do those extra reps? Are you going to do those extra reps? Right? You might only have 5 sprints out there, but are you going to have enough courage to be able to do 6, to be able to do 7? So when you come back out here, those 5 reps are nothing, right? How much more are you going to put in? You guys can be whatever you want to be when you grow up, right? I never thought I'd be a motivational speaker. I never thought that I'd be working at university. I never thought that I'd have a master's degree. That wasn't my plan. That was not my plan. But again, I understood once I had that injury, once I opened my mind, and once I began to realize that the thing that I said I wanted to be successful, right? But in my mind, being successful was being an NFL player. But little did I understand that the common denominator was successful, right? There's so many ways you can be successful. There are thousands, millions, billions of people that are successful that don't put on a helmet and shoulder pads every day and make millions of dollars, right? But I didn't understand that because my mind, I was so narrow, right? I was only seeing football, that's it. But I want you guys to understand that you have the ability to do anything that you want to do, right? And take the game of football, all that pain, right? The throwing up, the getting mad. I forget what my guy who just dropped the ball over here, you walked right here. My man, you dropped the ball, right? He dropped the ball, he walked off, he threw his glove on the ground like that, right? He was upset, he was mad. Now, how are you gonna come back the next play, right? Are you gonna continue to stay mad and stay down on that one play, right? And let Coach Jay call you 1 yard for the rest of the season? Or are you gonna switch it over, right? Because by the end of that season, Coach Jay never called me 1 yard again. Why? Because I changed it, right? Because I worked on it, because I kept pushing forward, right? I didn't let that one play take me down. I didn't let that one play destroy my mentality. I didn't let that one play get my emotions up, right? Continue to keep going, guys. Continue to keep going. And what's going to happen is when you guys come back on the 12th, coach, all the coaches are going to be able to see what you did. They might not be watching you day and night from the time here to now, but they're going to be able to see that first practice. They're going to see how you run. They're going to see your reactions. They're going to see how you talk, right? They're going to see your mentality, right? Are you going to fight against them when they tell you to do 1 more rep? They're going to be able to see all of that, all of it. So what you do from the moment you leave today determines the steps you have to take tomorrow. The decisions you make today determines the steps that you have to take tomorrow. You put the work in today, you put the work in tomorrow. When you come back on the 12th, it should be cake. Amen. It should be easy. Amen. And I just want to say, thank you, Coach, for letting me have the opportunity to come out here to speak to these guys. And it's just great to be back home, to be on the field that molded me to be who I am today. And I just want you guys to continue to keep pushing, continue to keep encouraging each other, and continue to keep holding each other accountable. Because this game right here is going to build you all to be the great man that you all can be and will be. And that's all I got to say. Thank you so much.
Amen. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for life, health, and strength, God. We just thank you for coming as a brotherhood, a community, God, and keeping us strong and healthy, God. And so you keep us, God, as we go back home, God, and let us do the right thing, God, and continue to be one family, God. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.